Yeah. Yeah. What? Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Load it.
Yeah. What? Yeah. 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 What? Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. What? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This is the TAT Chat with Electric Linda.
Hi there. Sorry, David. I wasn't aware of that. You didn't like the timer. You should have said so before. Yeah, I do sort of, I don't know. The timer is nice for those who are just a minute or two late, you know, and then you have time to settle in and get comfortable. I'm glad you liked the intro. I keep forgetting to actually push the intro button, so I just put it in there like an automatic thing. I hope you think it's okay. So it's the last episode. Hello, David. Hello, Megan. Hello, Shiro. Andy Fletcher. Amanda. Hello, Gabriella. Monster Turtle. Bianca. Andrea. It's so nice to see so many of you back here, and I am starting to sort of, remembering a lot of your names. I'm getting the hang of this now. It took like 10 episodes to get the sound right, you know, to get the introductions right. Well, thank you for asking. I am very, very well today. I'm very happy with my hair. I it's nice and soft now. It's not as new and stiff anymore. And yeah, so how are you people? It's the last episode of this season. I think this has been so much fun, and I will not, this is not the end of the TAT chat. It's just the beginning. So, but I'm just going to take a few weeks of vacation, really, just a summer holiday. And I haven't set a date on when we will be back with the TAT chat, but we'll just have to wait and see. And I know that you'll be the first to know on YouTube and on Instagram and Facebook and everywhere. So, and I have so many clips from this so I'm sort of like behind with all the weeks of it, like all the clips from the previous episodes. So they're gonna be uploads like every day for, I don't know, for several weeks now. So it's nice to see all of you here. Yeah, Bish, it's not the last one. It's just taking a little summer break. So it'll be back. I got a question through the question form on the tatchat.com, which is from Michael, and he asks, hey there, love your episodes, such an inspiration. My question is, are you self-taught? How do you know when it's the right time to start tattooing as a career? Thanks for your time, love your work. Those were 2 questions. But anyway, am I self-taught? No. I am not a supporter of self-teaching tattooing. I know that a lot of people do it, and a lot of them sort of feel like they don't have a choice and they are self-taught. And I mean, I'm just not, that's not my number one option. That's not what I recommend, But, I can't stop you, and nobody can stop you, as long as you are, studying really well and doing all the, all of the getting all that knowledge, reading, trying, talking to artists. And, I mean, no one's going to stop you, but that's not what I recommend. I always recommend being an apprentice in a shop and having a mentor teach you everything you need to know to get started tattooing. So I was with my mentor for 8 years before I dared to open my own shop. And some even don't want to open their own shop. They would rather work with a shop because it's more convenient, really. You don't have to think about all other stuff. But your question also was, how do you know when it's the right time to start tattooing as a career? I would say it's like, how do you know when you should start a career as a musician or start a career as a photographer? And I can go on and on and on. In any creative profession where you are an artist and you create art, when is the right time to start? When you are creative, when you are passionate, when you have the passion to go through with this, and when you feel like this is, I'll do it, because you can't do it 90%. You have to you have to go all in when you're gonna start a career, and you're like, yes, this is what I'm gonna be. This is what I'm gonna be good at. You can't just, oh yeah, I'll have it as a hobby or something. I don't recommend that either. So, yeah, when is the right time? I don't know. Next Tuesday at 11, it's like you need to feel that inside your heart. Like, is this what you really want? Then go for it, Good luck. Did Stream Elements by any chance put anything here now today? They didn't, so I don't think so anyway. Streamlabs is, you know, my robot sending some small messages in the chat, and it looks like it's not working. So I had to figure that out for next season. But remember, if you want to ask me questions in the chat, start the question with question in caps, because then I'll see it, you know. And so because a lot of you are, you know, talking to each other, chatting, and that's really, just do that, you know. It's nice. Okay, let's do a consultation. Okay, I haven't prepared anything, just like wrote down the name and her question. This is Pamela. Drawing scene. Where am I? No, that's the wrong one. TAT chat. Consultation. Pamela, I have a wrist tattoo that I've had many laser treatments on to remove, but I'm beginning to think I'll never get rid of it, so I'm thinking about a cover-up. I want to keep it as small as possible. It was a single violet flower tattoo that was originally a heart. Do you have any ideas? I like the elephant idea for my mom's Alzheimer, or a small group of violet. I want to keep my husband's name at the bottom. I also really love hearts. Any ideas? Okay. First, I just think we need to sort of, you want to keep, because normally I would say this is the direction, you know, for the canvas, because you read your body like this. But many people want to have their tattoo in that direction, you know, that angle, so you can read it yourself like this. And I totally understand that. It's just more, I don't know, more normal to recommend the other way. But what I would do here is to actually try to just clean up the okay. Clean up the name a little bit. You see, we just need to now I'm just, you know, this is going to be exaggerated, and you know that small text like this is going to fade anyway, so it needs to be sort of as clean as possible. I would sort of just try to clean up the name a little bit like this. And then what you could do is to use a white with a dash of skin tone in it, and then just clean up the space here between it, just next to it. Not much, but you can do this. Clean up. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go all into this because it's gonna take a lot of time, so I need to try to do this super fast. Is the music too loud, or is it okay for you? Just let me know. Okay, just fast here. Da-da-da. So this is actually possible to do when you're tattooing, because I didn't like that tail in the end there. It takes away some of the important things in the letterings. Either you should decorate it with some really decoration lines, like in the calligraphy, you know what I mean, but not just one line. That looks a little bit messy in a way. But yeah, a fast just way to show you that it is possible to clean up old lettering, but eventually over time this too will fade a little bit. but it will still look a little bit better than it used to be. Music is great, so calming. Good, thank you, Bianca. Okay, and then for the other right here, I would just say do lilies like you were talking about. It was a single flower tattoo. Elephant idea is awesome, but not this small. To get a really nice elephant looking really well, you need to go big. The bigger, the better. So here, I would actually say, okay, purple, bluish purple maybe? Light bluish purple here. I don't know what kind of lilies you really wanted, but I could actually, it could be nice to have not too small, but it could be nice to have like 3 or 5, you know, if you have kids, or do you have another number that you like and this like favorite and or connects you with your husband, you know, that could be something. So let's say you had 3 kids, then it would be nice to have like 1, 2, 3. I'm just centering those now, and then just to like okay, I'm actually really bad at lilies in freehand, but bear with me, just to like show where those lilies are, and then just to cover this up, but with 3 lilies or 5 or another number that you like. But it's better with those 3 than to have 1, because 1 can be very bulky and like flat. If you put 3 in there, then you can sort of play with the leaves, make it grow a little bit. Maybe it can go a little bit outside here, something, you know, a leaf, and it can go a little bit like that. And you can sort of, I don't know, I'm sorry, I'm not the best at lilies. And then, when you have sort of figured out where you want those flowers, you know, if it's lilies or whatever kind of flower you have, like center, you know where they're placed. Of course, you need to get an artist that is really good at drawing lilies. Okay, and then if you want to like add something nice, and it could be small leaves, it could be a little curly thing, you know. I don't know, there's a lot of things you can do. You can even put a banner for Robbie right here or something, you know. That could also work, to like have the banner going in and fade into the lilies behind them in a way, so that Robbie gets a more special kind of treatment in the tattoo. And then you can sort of just connect the banner with the tattoo, the flowers, you know. And this goes quite close to the hand, so and I can't sort of really see how close it is, but it looks like it's pretty close up to here. So I wouldn't go like make a lot of leaves and stuff up there, but maybe it depends on when you turn and twist the arm. Maybe you can put like a leaf around there, you know, twist it a little bit, maybe something up here, so that it sort of is not like just this flat circle. It will just feel like a flat stain, you know. If you let it grow, you know, pull something out of it here and there, it's just gonna feel more, I don't know, natural and flowy and feminine and nice in a way. And you can also, I like the idea when you sometimes do some parts really crisp and high contrast. So for example, the flower in the front can be really powerful with bright colors, a lot of black, and like really pop out. And then the ones in the back can almost like fade a little bit. Okay. And just, be in the background, because then it's also easier for you to actually fade. Let's see here, just did an airbrush to just fade it with the old tattoo. You understand what I mean? So that's an idea. That's something I would do. So yeah, 4, 3, 2, 1, finito. That was my suggestion for this one, Pamela. I hope you liked it. It's just an idea. And we're back there. I see you are asking questions. Awesome. Question. Okay, I'll do it like this. What is a good place for the first tattoo? I want my first one for my birthday, and I think it was on my chest. I think I want it on my chest. Is that a good place to start? It depends. If it's something really small, then I think a chest would be okay. If you know that you sort of endure pain, okay, otherwise going to the dentist, or if you fall and scratch your knee, are you a softie, or are you okay with pain in general? Because the chest is not very nice. It is one of, like, I would say from a 0 to 10, it's a 6. In the middle, it's a 7. And then on the muscle or fleshy parts, it's better. But in the middle of the chest is a 7, and the more bony you are, in a way, the more it's gonna hurt. And if you are ticklish and very sensitive, it will of course hurt more. So I would say usually if you are like me, very sensitive to pain, maybe you should start somewhere like the upper arm. The biceps is, like, I would say number 1 of low pain. And you have the thigh, like the outer thigh, where that big thigh muscle, is centered. That is quite a good spot. And actually the bum as well. So in the right on the cheek, that is right, actually not that bad. And then I would say also all around places on the arm are usually pretty good, except elbow area, wrist area, shoulder, and here, and then also the hand and stuff. So middle here and biceps here, perfect for beginners to just like try it, see if it's something that you can handle in a way. Okay, good question here. Master Shifu, what placement would be most appropriate for a very small tattoo, max 5 centimeters diameter? If the top priority is to prevent the lines from distorting over time, then I would say you just have to avoid feet and hands. That's like number 1, and avoid. Actually, you can just avoid all joints on your body. Elbow, shoulder, hip, knees, feet, hands, all of those main joints, because they are so you turn and twist them so many times. The skin is like elastic, very elastic, and is bending all the time. So those areas are not for small and detailed tattoos. The best place, if I were to get a small, nice tattoo with fine lines or something, I think I would get it on somewhere on my lower arm. I think this is a golden area. This is protected from the sun. While this, you get more sun, you have usually more hair, you get more sort of wearing and tearing over time. And it's also this big sort of muscle. I don't have a big muscle, but you know that this area is sort of like very round, and then this area has more like a flat area. So this is a golden spot and one of my perfect favorite places to tattoo anything. And then you have the calves. They're also amazing to tattoo. So, but I would also say that it's nice to have a small tattoo on a small area. So maybe like behind the ear, on the neck, right here in the back of the neck, maybe closer to the wrist, but not like in the joint area, but a little bit, you know, higher or lower or whatever you see it. So yeah, places like that. I think I ruled out the bad spots. Question, do I need a theme for my tattoos? Does one arm have to be either color or black only? I did actually a video all about that, like planning tattoos, mix or match. And I talk a lot about like both mixing or matching colors and black and gray, or styles or themes, or and it's so individual. And I talk a lot about that, going like really deep and talking about pictures on the walls and everything. So check out that video, planning tattoos, mix or match. That could be the one for you. Oh, you guys are so nice. Your work and knowledge is amazing. That was really helpful. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Question, fact or myth, color fades faster than black and gray? Oh, that's a difficult one, because actually, it's difficult to say either one, because it's sort of both. Because a lot of artists that use a lot of color tattoos, you know, using like color tattoos, a lot of them sadly fade because there are not enough black or fences, as I've been talking about earlier. You can sort of make a fence in the tattoo by making the outline. It's actually a technical thing that helps the ink stay in a little bit. A lot of realism artists that makes portraits with colors, they tend to fade more, but it's sort of just, it doesn't actually fade more, but just looks like it, because they're not enough contrast and hard sort of blackness and whiteness and everything. And they also sometimes just the colors blend a little bit together. And black and gray, I don't know, it's easier to get it to heal and like stay nice over time, because as I also said earlier, black and gray is not black and gray. Black and gray is usually black and skin. So it's black and then water. So black is something that you'll see, and then when you water it down, it becomes more and more transparent, and then you have the skin, which is the most transparent. Do you get what I'm saying? So that often will heal better and look better over time, but it's fading just as much. So you get what I'm saying? I hope so. Okay, let's do we have time? Yes. Okay, let's prepare for one more consultation. let's try to be effective today and get you a lot of value. Okay, so oh, she wants a flower tattoo again. I'm so bad with drawing flowers, like just sketching. I usually like photographs. Jen, how would I cover this with a floral tattoo? Is it possible to do it black, or would I need color? You don't need color if you don't want it, but I always recommend it because also I just love color. I'm a color realism artist, and that's my sort of specialty. But if you want this black and gray, we have sort of you can get it, but it's more complicated. Because as I said, black and gray is not black and gray, it's black and skin. So if we want to sort of cover this up, we need to have a lot of black here, and to cover all this up without like seeing, it needs to be some weird texture. This just looks weird, right? So we can try to think, okay, we can have, if you need to be able to go bigger because you don't want to have like a black, you know, just a big black block. We can make some nice flowers here. I'm just gonna make like a super easy flower. You're gonna see that it's a flower, but we have no idea what kind of flower this is because I really don't care. You decide. You decide what kind of flowers you want, and you get it, you know, because you can make whatever kind of flowers you want here because you're making them in the free spot, you know. This is the easiest way to cover up something and still keep it in black and gray, because then you just need to sort of soften everything out in the background. You need to pull out stuff, you know. I'm using this wrong. Make some leaves, maybe like something here with more leaves, tra-la-la. You know what I'm doing. We're just adding, playing around with it so that it doesn't need to sort of be super big. And we want to make it flowy, you know. We can sort of use this shape and maybe even go up here in a way. Use that nice flow. And then to not just make this diagonal big black block, we need to add more black in here, you know. So we need to sort of invite the darkness over here, make something out of this so that we're sort of breaking up that the darkness, so that it's not just that diagonal line, you know. Spread it out a little bit. I'm painting with the wrong brush again, but you get somewhat of what I'm doing, right? So just separating them a little bit, because then what you can do when you can actually, if the tattoo artist knows what they are doing and has experience with cover-ups and stuff like that, you can actually go in and sort of first I need to see where the feather is, okay, and then you can actually just make, you know, little dots or something, or maybe that's a flower bud, you know. So that more stuff is happening here right next to the feather, right? I don't know if these are flowers or it could be anything. It could be mushrooms, it could be insects. We just need to go behind all of these things, you know. It could be flies. Oh, fireflies are nice. It could be I don't know. It could also be just these light, like bokeh effect things. And then we can add more. We can even add one there because it's sort of lighter in that area. Okay, and then we go back here. And then I'm going to make it a little bit see-through because it's probably going to be a little bit see-through anyway. But you get what I'm saying? Like, this is an idea, a rough idea that but you need to go a little bit bigger. Don't be afraid to go a little bit, big and bold. The bigger, the better. And the bigger you can make also like more details. And remember, this is just, like I said, like super childish flowers. I would recommend like making them with photographs or something, just to like really plan out and how you like the flowers and everything. But yeah, and I think we could even try to make some even more lighter areas in here, just to free it up from all of this darkness. You could also go in there and add, but then you'll see that it will be see-through. But you can't. I'm an optimist, so I usually go in there and make it light, and then I make it darker again if it doesn't work. If it you can still see it, okay, then we have to go darker. But I would rather be an optimist and like say, okay, I want one more bud here, because we need to break this up a little bit so that you don't have the full let's make a bigger like bud right there, and then you can see, oh, but there's a bird showing through it, and then you can actually sort of, if with patience and everything, you can add to this. So you sort of coloring this gray, and then you can put that gray on top of the tattoo there, and hopefully that will sort of, you're not going to be able to see it anymore. So you can do that. Also in this one we can do it gray, and all of these things here we can make them gray. We can have something going on like that maybe, and something like that, just to like make something more happen. And when these are made in gray, they're distracting the darkness, so it's not just a big black block, but it's like, yeah, distracting it, making something light in the darkness. But when you're making it gray like that, and having the very black next to it, it's gonna look very light, because then you can use gray, and then you can actually make a new layer after it's healed with white. But that white, you can't never guarantee that it's gonna be white. It's just gonna lighten everything a little bit. So if you want white, you need to go back like several times, but then eventually it will never be white, because you have your own skin on top of it as well. And you should never use a lot of sessions on the same tattoo. You shouldn't make like a tattoo layer after layer after layer, because you're sort of distracting, or like making the skin, you're sort of hurting the skin so many times. You have a higher chance of getting scarring in this, so it can be bumpy, and you have a higher infection. I had one client who wanted to get a sleeve done in a shorter time, so we had like a session every week, and that actually did something with his immune system. So it was more easily infected, you know, so that can also happen. So over time you need to sort of have it heal and rest, and then yeah, so this is sort of a nice, cute but not very realistic sketch of what would be possible. Da da da. Okay, I'm glad you liked that one. Jen Ice question: will a tattoo become less beautiful in an area of the skin that is impure, for example with spots and pimples? I don't mind the bad English. I don't mind that at all. I would say if, yeah, I've had clients that are wanting to get tattooed, maybe on their chest or their back, and they have a lot of acne. And I would just, actually, I think it's usually not a problem, but right where you have a pimple and you're tattooing it, in that very little area with a pimple, because the pimple is, you know, it's a wound, you know, and it's going to heal, and that takes time. It's going to take weeks, you know, for it to heal, just like a tattoo. So I often say that you have to come back and we need to have a little look at that little pimple and maybe just touch it up a little bit, because often when you have pimples, it's like, I don't know, I think it just goes, when you're tattooing that area, it's gonna come more blood and plasma. It's not very nice, but it's just, that happens. So, and because of that, that is sort of pushing the ink out a little bit. So when it heals, you will see that it's less ink in that little spot. So I would suggest, like, to you know, to avoid this, try to sort of, I don't know, prepare your skin the best way possible so that you have not that many pimples or acne at that time. Otherwise, it's just to like tattoo it, and then, but then you need to sort of come back and fix that little spot after the pimple or acne is gone. So that's my experience. I don't know if anyone other has, you know, that's the thing here. I feel like I'm answering all these questions and I get a little bit like, okay, but this is just me. I mean, there are so many other tattoo artists around the world that might be like, oh my God, what's she saying? That's like so weird answer. I would never say that. I don't know, but it's my experience and my opinions, and you're asking me, so I'll answer you, right? Okay. Your work and knowledge is amazing. I would love to give you free reign on what space I've left. That's nice, Andy. Thank you. I sort of like actually don't enjoy free reign as much as I enjoy the requests, but that's just because I've been, that's what I do. That's what I've done for like 20 years. You have a wish, you have a request. It's my job to sort of make your dream come true. And sometimes people are like, you can do whatever you want. I'm like, okay. Then I'll be like a little blank, and it's harder for me. So I often ask them like, okay, but give me a theme. Give me, what kind of music do you like? And then I have to sort of ask them questions and get some ideas, because I want it to be personal to them as well, and to you, you know? Okay. I will, you remember the last episode I wanted to do some critique, and then I didn't have time to do them because I had these 15 quick responses. So I'm just gonna do some critiquing now. And let's start with this one. like I said, with these critiques, there are no questions. It's just you upload a picture and I critique it. And I can see that this is what I call a blast over, because you can see that it was another tattoo. You know, there's something else beneath it. And I mean, to be a blast over, that is totally fine, because that's what it is, and you can see that it's the. So I wouldn't say this is not a cover up. This is a blast over. You know, you sort of like, you just tattoo something over it, and you don't care if you can see anything beneath it. This is actually a blast over over my old tattoo. But I would say the eagle itself is really good. It's a traditional old school style. I like it. I love seeing it, but I can't draw it myself. I've never really liked drawing that simple way. In a way, I like copying realism, but very good, like nice, solid, bold colors. But personally, I would wish, because often when you're doing blast overs, you have so many tattoos that you sort of like don't care anymore. So you're just like, now let's do a blast over. I don't care if you see the old tattoo. But your arm is not really that covered yet. So I would sort of prefer to treat this as more like a cover up and fill out more of this, you know, the stuff that is visible on the outside. And I would fill out some more. You see a lot of skin out, you know. Let's just, I don't know. I would sort of maybe do something more just in this area. And here, is it supposed to see, you know, are you supposed to see this bird? I don't think so. I would just do some other background there, maybe some darker background, so you can't see that, you know. We have to do another color here, like maybe dark background, and that could sort of fade up in this thing, you know, and they can blend together. Here you can't have a dark background because there's black in the, but it could be gray or it could be something else, you know. I just wish it was like more full in a way. You thought it was a leg for a moment. Yeah, it's an arm though. But come on, guys, hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Andy. Yes, give me a thumbs up if you like this video so far, or live stream. Okay, just gonna go in here, and when you send me photos of text and you want me to critique it, I'm not sure what you want me to say, because I will have to be honest, but I'm also very polite, and I would say, if you like text and that's what you want, and then you think this is a beautiful tattoo, then it doesn't matter what I think. But I'm just going to go in technically and say that like this is sort of the reason why you should always go big or go home. Text is, let's say here, if you see the future there, you can see that this is sort of, I think the F is like that, but you can sort of see that it's already blended. There's a lot of gray here. You can see that all of this area is gray, and that's going to keep turning gray and smushing together. I don't know how many years old this tattoo is, but yeah, text should be even bigger than this. So I have a text myself on the back there. I have a verse from Madonna's Lucky Star. So and it's the same on my back. And I like text sometimes, but I just think I love thinking a little bit more outside the box, and this is very centered inside the safe box. Like, I'm sorry, but I think this is sort of more like a mainstream thing. It's nice if you think it's nice, and I think if it's your, I haven't even read it, but I think if this means something to you, then it doesn't matter what I say or think. But you're sending me photos. You want me to critique, so I will. This one, I was so happy when I saw this. I mean, look at this. It is so cute. Bambi, and you have Winnie the Pooh, and you have the cute cat, the kitten from Aristocats. Oh, and then you have the from, isn't that from Super Mario? The mushroom thing? That's awesome. I mean, this is really, really cute. The drawing itself is really nice and sweet and cute. I can, of course, as a perfectionist, I can go in and say, actually, the coloring could be more full. It sort of looks half finished. I wish it was more color. It looks like you have one more session to go with cool, cooler colors, cold colors, blue, turquoise, purple, because there's a lot of yellow, orange, and pink and peach. I don't know if it's your filter on the photo, but you know, it's a lot of warm colors, and I miss that. The coolest color here is that little green in the leaf. I just wish it was more blue, purple, and teal or green in here, especially blue, because that would make it more like pastel kind of look. Blue, purple, pink, those are like perfect for that Disney princess kind of look. So other than that, the drawing itself is super cute. The linings here could be a little bit better, and you can see I am a perfectionist, but I do like the little glitter effect that they tried here. They made. That could be even more, you know, it could exaggerate stuff like that. Cool things, bring more. That's my suggestion. Okay, shall we do one more critique, and then we can sort of finish off. I'm just gonna go for this one. Again, it's like, if you're sending me photos to critique, I'm gonna be honest, because I don't know who you are, and but it's so difficult because I'm a polite woman that I don't want to sort of hurt anyone's feelings. But the thing is that this looks fresh. It looks like you actually did this just a few days ago, or maybe even a week ago. And I just ask, like, are there really people getting tribal tattoos these days? This is what I did like 19 years ago. I did this every day, especially in the lower back on girls with low cleavage, and arms on very muscled men. And people like coming in and like, have you seen the movie From Dusk Till Dawn? I'm like, oh no, please, not again. So the tribals, for me, it's like a trendy thing that has been going on for years, and I sort of never understood why. For me, my opinion about it was, it's something the guys do to stand out without standing out at all. So it's like they want to stand out and have something unique, so they get a tribal, like the most mainstream trend of all tattoo times. So you wanted my honest opinion, and that's my honest opinion. However, I have seen tribal tattoos. I'm probably gonna edit this in the clip to show you like awesome tribal tattoos. If you like tribal or ornamental, which I call it as well, because then you have mandalas. That's an ornamental tattoo. And isn't that here? No, it's here. I have the filigree. That's ornamental because it's sort of abstract, but it's making a pattern. Sometimes it's symmetrical, sometimes not symmetrical, but just balanced, you know, using often S forms or C forms, you know. So my honest opinion is like I really personally don't like tribals, and I'm very sorry, but I don't think they did a good job either, because if you're making tribals, you actually are supposed to make the edges like super sharp. Even here in this edge, you align the needle outwards, so it actually, to make it like super crisp, it needed to go all the way here. Like this one, I mean, this is not supposed to be that shape. It was supposed to be this shape, but that's my perfectionism, you know. I don't understand the things here. Here it's been, you know, too close here, so they have emerged together. I don't, yeah, this is a very freehand tribal tattoo from someone who don't have a lot of experience doing freehand tribal tattoos. Sorry, but that's my honest opinion. So yeah, I don't like ending the last episode of this season with, you know, a negative note. But that's how we learn, right? Let's see here. Bish, one final question. My artist is gonna do a half sleeve. He said he'll discount 600 for one session, or we can go tap out sessions. What do you recommend? I'm not really sure. That depends on what he means. I don't use this sort of pricing anyway, but I would sort of, I think if you want to have like a set session, or if you want to have a tap out session, that means you can end it when you want. That's a difficult question. What do you recommend? I would say if you are a kind of person like me that actually taps out very early, I never book longer sessions than like 2 hours plus drawing and planning. I know that I can't deal with more than 2 hours these days. I'm super sensitive though, and have, I don't know why, but I'm very sensitive. And so I know that I can't take more than 2 hours, so I book 2 hours plus drawing and planning and sketching and setting up and stuff. So maybe I book 3 hours, you know. So so yeah, that's like really, really difficult to answer though. You have to ask, you know, that guy. Megan, which are the best places to get a first tattoo, or which are places you should avoid? I sort of answered that earlier in this episode, but I would say go for smaller tattoos just in the beginning, and on that, you know, the upper arm, avoid all joints, fingers, hands, knees, you know, hips, shoulders. Avoid all of the bending joints, and start a little bit small, but don't go too small, because then you'll just have to cover it up and stuff. So I mean, if you want to go big at once, do it. I mean, it's not hurting anyone. So if you want to, do it. From Shiro, hello Shiro. I'd like getting tats, but I'm still growing. Do you think I should wait, or are there some tats or placements that don't stretch much? Well, that's a difficult question, because it sort of depends sort of how you are growing, you know. Yeah, it's a difficult question, really. I would say everything is stretching a little bit, but I think it depends on which way it's stretching, you know what I mean? So when I gained like 30 kilos after my first pregnancy, and my arms were like stretched super much in, so that my mermaid, she got a little broader. But I mean, it needs to be a lot to be able to see a difference. So yeah, I can't go through the whole body map like that. But yeah, it's better if you, Shiro, sometime you can always ask me if you have a specific place in mind and a specific tattoo in mind. It's easier for me to sort of answer it more correctly, Isabel, hi Linda, what's your opinion on pure white tattoos? There are no pure white tattoos. They don't exist. It's not possible. Because your skin is on top of the ink. And as long as you're not like super, like more transparent skin than me, and like even lighter than me, your skin will have pigment in it, and it will be on top of the white ink, and it will color the white ink so that it's very rare that you can actually see white ink. You could see it on Monami Frost, a tattoo model. She has a white snowflake in her face. I think it's here or there. And I don't know, but she must be recoloring this every once in a while. If not, then good for her. But she is very light. Her skin is super light. It has almost no pigments in it, and so it's easier for her because then it's more visible. So, but you will never get a pure white tattoo. I only use white in like details to get that like a little pop. Yeah, we're actually overdue on the time. Well, we did get questions. We got consultations and critiques. So I thought to just, I don't know what we should do now. I'm gonna say goodbye for some weeks. I don't know when I'll be back and everything. But I do want to say that I will be on Twitch just to like do some, and that's more like, this is 1 hour with a schedule, on YouTube, doing all tattoos. On Twitch, I do several hours chill vibe, chatting with you, drawing. I make you can decide what I draw. We have this dialogue all the time, but it's more like with music, chilling, several hours. You come in and chat if you want and have time. So I will be on Twitch, and just to like introduce that to you, I will go live on Twitch right just a few minutes after I say goodbye. So if you want, join me on Twitch if you just want to see what it's like. If you have never been there before, it's quite a nice thing. But it's twitch.tv/electriclinda. Okay? twitch.tv/electriclinda, or just search Electric Linda on Twitch and you will find me. And now I got an alert there, but yeah. Thank you for 10 awesome episodes. It's been so much fun. I have grown so much of this. I dived into something I thought I wouldn't dare to, and I just dived into it, and I really, really enjoyed it. And that's thanks to you guys that has been, coming in here and saying hello and saying these nice things and being interested and answering, asking me a lot of good questions. And thanks to you, I have, I feel like I've evolved and got like a level up in my YouTube thing, or whatever, all of my things, really. So thank you so much for that. I don't sort of have anything to sort of like give you, or I don't. Yeah, I didn't. I would. Yeah. You know what I mean. But yeah, thank you so much for 10 episodes. I'll be back as soon as I can, really. I would just have to see what happens. We haven't planned all the summer, so we'll see what happens. And have a great summer, even though we are in an awful time in our lives right now. I wish you like a really great summer. Take care of each other, and you know, that keep space from other people and everything. Keep safe, and I'll see you sometime in August, maybe, I think. Okay, or I'll see you on Twitch, right? Okay, and for those of you who want to go there, I'll be there in like 5 minutes. Okay, thank you everyone, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.
This is the TAT Chat with Electric Linda.